Thanks for staying with us. Now, the ANC in Northwest says it's all systems go for the second part of its elective conference this weekend. That's as some members threaten further court action to try have the gathering and its decisions set aside. A high court has dismissed their application. The provincial conference elected new leaders earlier this month. Our reporter Moloko Moloto is following developments in Rustenburg. Moloko, maybe just speak to us about how things are developing at the Northwest ANC conference. When I had spoken to the national spokesperson Pule Mabe earlier in the week, he said it's all systems go and he doesn't expect any interferences. What's the situation like now?
Good afternoon, Heidi. Well, we are now at Olympia Park Stadium. This is where delegates who are coming to take part in this continuation of the conference must first register before they can proceed to the civic center where the conference will get underway. The ANC has said they expect it to start at around 1 o'clock. We spoke to Pule Mabe, the national spokesperson of the ANC, a short while ago, and he was just saying, look, we are proceeding, and you would be aware, Heidi, that some disgruntled members, those who lost the court case on Thursday when the High Court in Mahikeng dismissed with cause their urgent application to set aside this ongoing conference. Those disgruntled members of the ANC have now elevated their grievances to the Constitutional Court. However, the ANC was saying they have not been served with papers. But also, Heidi, what Pule Mabe has said was that you would recall 2 weeks back when this conference was sitting, there was a High Court ruling that said the members of the interim structure in the province would not participate as voting delegates in this conference. They can only be members or delegates participating in anything else except voting. And that was because they had been in place for too long. They had exceeded their mandate in terms of the provisions of the ANC constitution. So we had Pule Mabe now saying that they have learned a lesson, and as a result, they, as the NEC on Tuesday, decided to disband the provincial interim structures in the Western Cape as well as the Free State. But we spoke earlier to the new provincial secretary of the ANC in this province, who was saying their mandate really, or top of the agenda as the newly elected leaders, is to unite this particular conference. And it's going to be a tall order considering the fact that already there are court processes. But the question, Heidi, would be, given the fact that the incumbent Premier Bushy Mape has lost the contest for the position of provincial chairperson to Nonu Maloi, what is his future holding now? Is he going to continue as premier? We posed that question to the secretary of the ANC. Let's listen to him.
Look, we are confident and we believe in the existing ESCO as a whole, premier and his executive. So we have no intention of sitting down and say, now we are winners. Now Pumangena. No, we don't want to do that. We are not intending to remove anybody very soon if we have to remove. But we don't have any intention. There is no agenda in for me that I'm sponsoring in removing the premier. We are happy with the premier. The only thing that we're emphasizing on the premier ESCO is the emphasis on issues of service delivery. We've met the premier, we've met the 2 MECs already. In regard to issues of our challenges in Ditsobotla, we are moving with them, we are working with the premier and his executive. So we don't have a problem for now.
Well, Heidi, that is the newly elected provincial secretary of the ANC in this province, as I said, talking renewal and unity. But let us speak to the delegates, people who are coming from the branches of the ANC. Let me start with you, Sam. The people who have taken the ANC to court now, we know now they have filed papers at the Constitutional Court. They want to set aside this conference which you are part of. Where do you stand as delegates?
Look, it's most unfortunately that we grew up in the ranks of the ANC, understanding clearly that the leadership is a contested terrain. we expected that comrades have contested, they must just accept the outcome of the conference. It's most unfortunate that they chose that particular route. It's been long, almost 4 years, not having a legitimate structure of the organization. It's about time now that we must just rally behind the elected leadership of the ANC in the province.
But here's the thing. One, they say that the so-called credentials report was adopted at the plenary while some delegates were still registering. Two, they are complaining about some delegates from branches who were barred from participating in this. Also, they say some texts, these things, which allow you as delegates to go and vote, were duplicated. Do you think their complaints are frivolous?
Well, I don't have a tangible proof as it relates to that, but over and above, there is a steering committee that is entrusted to deal with such kind of challenges that you are faced with. It's most unfortunately. Those allegations I cannot confirm or deny. But we must just rally behind the elected leadership of the ANC in the province.
All right, let me speak to this young man, stand here in front of the camera. What are your views about these people who are complaining?
My brother, you raised 3 issues. I remain Dikago from Ngakamudiri Molema as a delegate here from Tsoying, Ward 2. The issue of credentials. Those comrades, they raised the issue of credentials. It was raised by the Youth League in any case. And then they participated in the conference. They adopted credentials, they nominated, they voted. Beyond everything else, after losing the conference, they go to court complaining about credentials. 1. 2, the issue of tax. You can create all tax under the name of Dikahopule in the world, all tax. But the legitimate Dikahopule is the one who is going to come with his own ID. They can only one ID of Dikahopule, that is Dikahopule. So if they went to court, they failed to prove the issue of agency. The court wanted to know what is agent about your issue. So you can't participate, and therefore when you lose and come back and say the APC is not.
Right, I'm running out of time, but I want to ask you this question. The unity and renewal of the ANC, when you still have people within your rank and file who are taking the party to court, how is that going to be achieved?
This is a voluntary movement that on its own, it derives its existence from championing the rest of society. So
they must go?
No one must go. Those people, they will be fine. They just lost. It's a matter of time. They will be fine. I'm telling you now, if we must unite the ANC, we must allow them opportunity to exist. Because going to court is their democratic right. You can't take it from them. But of course, we must unite our comrades from branches. You can't unite people in the PEC.
All right, thanks so much. That's all we have time for. Thanks for yours. Well, here's the thing. As much as these delegates are saying the process must go on, we are waiting to see what the court will say.
Okay, thank you so much for that update. That